Oh, hi, welcome. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Michele and I'm an independent demonstrator here in Stamping Up. So glad you could join me today. I'm still just doing a little bit of prepping for what I'm planning we will make. I'm just being probably a little bit unsure where we're going. I had to go out and do a few things, so this is sort of like a last minute, okay, let's see what we're going to make. So what we thought I would play with, now let me just move my mini cut and emboss out of the road for the time being, and I'll bring that out again in a minute. Let me grab my catalogue here, and I'm going to flip this down. Now please jump on, say hi, let me know your name and where you're from, because it's always wonderful seeing new people visiting my craft room each Friday. So I hope everyone can hear me okay. If you can't, let me know. If you have any questions, pop them up on here. If you have any questions and I don't see it, I will try to get back to you later on. I do have to wait a little while for the video to load up properly for me to be able to see questions and get to get the answers back to you. So just bear with me while that happens if you have questions. But please, if you've got any comments, anything you'd like to see, anything about the products, please ask. Okay, I'm going to flip this camera over so you can see the catalogue. It won't be one moment. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, I've been pretty busy just cutting a few things out and getting ready. So I'm going to turn to in the beginning of our catalogue, and I think it's around about one of our first products in here. Yes, it is. It's on page 14 and 15. 2, Bright and Beautiful. Now, Bright and Beautiful, it's a suite. It comes with a whole collection. You've got a lovely range of designer series paper, and I tell you, it does look a lot nicer when you actually have it here in person. Let me just see if I can go through this. This is a little bit all messed up, so let me just pull out a few pieces. So you've got this beautiful one here, which we're going to be playing with today. And on the back, you've got stars. There's quite a bit in here. You've got that one. So I may not be able to get through all of them. Let's just flick through and see what we can see. You've got this one here, which has got a lovely washed effect. And you've got triangles on that one. A lot of these papers, you could use them for any of our other beautiful stamp sets that we've got in the catalogue. That one there with just that lovely, what is it, lemon lime? Right there, I've got a front here in front of me. It's one of the returning colours. Lemon lime twist. Don't know why I forgot that. Metal blank. Okay, got this one here, which has got like a gradient of colour through it. On the back there, you've got the scallops. Quite fun. This one here. Oh, that's the gradient one, sorry. That one there. It's more another gradient with that. So as you can see, there's quite a bit there that you can play around with. So it's very versatile. I don't think you have to stick with the balloons if you wanted to try something a little bit different with it. Oops, that's my back cover. So it just gives you a bit of an idea of the papers that are in that. And I've pulled out a lot of the colours. Now let me just see if I can find that piece again that's got all the names of all the colours on there. Had it a minute ago. Is that it there? The colours that go with this and are in this designer series paper. You've got Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Blueberry Bushel. Well, that was a colour I didn't pull out. Bubble Bath, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Pretty Peacock. So there's actually quite a bit in this range of paper that you can team it up with quite a few other colors. Now let me just see if I can get that back in there. Yes, I have. So there's quite a bit in here. Also, what comes you can get with this when you purchase the suite is this acetate. It's a specialty designer series paper. And let me just bring out a plain color. Black is going to be a good one for this. So you've got your spots, you've got your swirls and confetti, and stars and confetti. Now that's your gold side. If you flip it over, you've got silver on the other side. So you could team this up with quite a few different things. So that's the acetate sheets that come with this suite. You also have the stamp set, and here on my messy desk somewhere are the coordinating dies. So there is one die, this one here, which is quite a large one, just like a balloon shape. You could use that for a shaker card. You can stamp these and die cut them. You've got stars in here. There's a tag, tassels, confetti. So there's quite a bit in here that you can play with. So we're going to have a little bit of a play with this today, but I also wanted to bring this to your attention because coming up in June, I'm taking part in a stamp camp. Now, let me see if I can bring it up so you can see. Is it on this one? Okay, there you go. So there we are. On the 10th of June, I'm going to be involved in a stamp camp. It's going to be all day, probably starting around about 9ish. I don't think we've quite worked out all the times as yet. And there's different options that you can use to take part in this stamp camp. You can purchase the Bright and Beautiful suite through me and add the iridescent shaker circles, and you need to add the silver and gold ribbon combo, which you'll find that ribbon combo in the exclusives. So if you purchase all of that, which with postage comes out to around about $166.69, purchase that through me, then you get to join the stamp camp for free. There is an option which I haven't put up there, which is I've called it option 1A, where you can buy the card kit. You can see the card kit there is for $49. We've got a cheaper one if you buy the whole suite. Okay, and that will give you all the card stock for the cards that you will be making on the day. Option 3 is a product share. So if you didn't want to purchase all of the whole suite, you still need to purchase your Bright and Beautiful stamps and dies. But if you wanted to go in a quarter share of all the product, you can do the quarter share for $65. Now that will include some of the iridescent shaker circles and some of the ribbon as well. With that one, you do need to let me know as soon as possible so I can make sure that I can order those products for you and have them here ready. But the option 4 is purchase the PDF only. Now this still will give you everything you need to. Sorry, let me just word that again. But purchasing that PDF, okay, and this is really good for those of you who may be overseas or already demos, or you've already purchased this particular suite. You still will have access to our stamp camp on Facebook. It's a private Facebook group, so you'll still have that. It's just that closer to the time of the stamp camp or the day before, a couple of days before, I will send you the PDF for that, and it's $22. So in that PDF is for 8 cards. There's 4 cards which are 3D or fancy folds, and 4 cards which will be a standard sort of type card. So that one is really good for $22, and you've got that PDF. With the other options as well, you still will get the PDF. You'll still get to join the Facebook group. I just wanted to really let everybody know that even though you're a demonstrator, or if you don't want to purchase that Bright and Beautiful suite through me because you want to support your own demonstrator, you can still join our stamp camp by purchasing that PDF. Okay, so it's going to be a full day of card making. Depending on how we go, as I said, I don't know the times as yet, and we're sort of still playing around with them. But it'll start around about 9:30, maybe go through till 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it'll be there forever. So even if you have to go out, you've got something else on that day, you can always come back and rewatch it. So please consider that. You'll find all the details, because this is just a brief overall look at it. You'll find all the rest of the details on my blog. So if you go to butterfliesandbows.com and go to my blogs page on there, you will find all the details. I will post the link afterwards in the comments, so then you can find that easily. So please consider joining us. It's going to be a lot of fun as we play with this suite. So let me just bring me back on here so you can see what we're looking at. And I'm just going to bring comments up because I see a couple of people. Zaina, hi, how are you? Very early, just gone on to 4 a.m. Oh, you are keen. Where are you from? Please let me know. I'd love to hear. And hi, Joan, how are you? So I hope you can all join me on the 10th. Make sure if you're wanting to get product, you order your product early. On my blog is a hostess code that you can use. And there is a link there to take you to all the products, because we have added those 2 extra products, the iridescent circle embellishments, which you'll find in the embellishment part of your catalogue, and also those 2 ribbons, which you'll only find on the exclusives, which is on your online store. So, but I have got a link to all of them. Hi, Marie, how are you? Oh, it's early over there. Oh, no, you're 1:12 p.m. Yeah, not too bad. Bit early still, though. Okay, let's have a bit of a play. I thought since we're talking about this particular one, we're going to play with it today. So let me just pop my catalogue somewhere safe. I've already had everything go flying. Always seem to be, I've got to clean up this craft room, but I work in here during the week doing sewing as well, so you do have to excuse me because everything gets dumped on my craft table. Okay, so what I've been playing with so far, because I've just been having a little bit of a play, a little bit of a look to work out what we're going to do. We're going to be using our stamp set, of course. I've been using some of the dies here. I've taken, now there's 2 different styles of dies in these bags. One is like a frame or framelit, okay, which cut out your stamped images. So that one there seems to be there, because these aren't true to size. So this will cut out your larger balloon. This will cut out that smaller balloon. Then you've got other ones. Then you've got these 2 balloons here, and these cut out just if you want to cut your balloons out of your cardstock. So what I've been doing, let me move that so you can see, I've been cutting out balloons in some of the coordinating colors. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be using all of these. I just thought I'm going to cut a few of these out so we've got them done. I have decided that my card is going to be on a black base. It's 9:15 p.m., so it's in the evening. Oh, okay. It's showing up here at 1:12, but that's my time here. Duh, Michele. Okay. The other thing that's in with these dies is this one here. And it's what it does, it cuts out, I don't know whether you can see this because I've been playing with it. It cuts out all these So you lay it on top. I might just run a piece through and then you can actually see it. But it cuts like a frill. So let me just grab my mini cut and emboss. And let's grab a piece of designer series paper. One of these ones here will do. So what I've done, now you can do this a couple of different ways. You can pop that, hope you can see that, along the edge of your cardstock. Now I'm just leaving a couple of mil, or probably about a 1/16 of an inch on one side. Normally I'd probably tape that down, but I think I'm going to get that right. I'm going to send that through. So who has got this particular suite and has started playing with it? Oh, you're in the UK. What part of the UK are you from, Zona? And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. I've got a sister in the UK. She's lived over there now probably close to 30 years. So I'm going to take this off. It's cut right through very well, but it's actually stuck on there. Okay, so what it's done is it's made all these slits. So I don't know whether you can actually see those slits. And what you would normally do is grab your trimmer. So there's my slits there, and I'm just going to take this. I'm not going to do it all the way. I just want to trim that off, and you've got these frills like a fringe. So what I've done, just to try something a little bit different, I've actually folded. So I've cut that in, but I haven't trimmed that bit off, and I've folded it in half, but not a hard fold, just a soft fold. So I'm basically just curling that up, and then to give like a shorter but thicker sort of frill, and then you can sort of squish them and put them in different directions. So that's what I've done on this piece here. So I've folded it, or cut all my piece. I've left a bit there, which I'm going to glue down in a minute, and then I have folded that. Now this is just a little bit, so here's my card base. I haven't really worked much else out as yet, but this is going to be adhered around about there. And I have made it not quite as deep as my card. So my card base for here in our Australian measurements is folded in half. It's 14.9 centimetres, and my DSP is cut at 14.4. So I've just basically taken about half a centimetre off the length of my card. So you'd be looking at 1/4 of an inch if you're in the UK, or where you use Imperial. Where's my sister living? She lives down near Exeter. She's actually works at Exeter University. So so you're in Norfolk. Okay. I'll have to look that up. I always look up when I see where people come from, especially in the UK, because it's sort of I've got a lot of friends over there in England at the moment, because there's Stamping Up incentive trip is on, and they're starting from England. So I've been eagerly looking at the maps and seeing where they are, because I've never actually been to where my sister is, and it's always interesting to see different people's perspective of the area, especially if they're even visiting in the area she's in. So what I'm going to do is, next I want to choose a piece of designer series paper which I'm going to adhere here. Now, what I was looking at is maybe a piece of lemon lime twist, because I just want that frill to sort of look like it's stitched a frill onto the end there. But I didn't want a big, huge frill, and I wanted a little bit of texture and everything to it. So I'm hoping that that's going to work. So let's start by just adhering this piece here down, and then I can trim a bit of that away. So I'm going to grab my multi-purpose glue, and then we're going to have to do some measuring to work out our sizing for that. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue all the way down. Just give that a nice fold. I don't want all these going in the same. I want to break them up so we've got a little bit going up and down, just to form that nice little texture there. I mean, I do know this is going to get flattened when it goes into an envelope, but hey, we can only but try. So there we go. So that's just to give that little bit of a texture there. And when we put this on, let me grab my little mini ruler here to work out. So I want it to go around about there, and I think if I cut my next piece of DSP probably to 8.5, even maybe 8.7, 8.8. Okay, so let's give this a go. Pop my lid on my glue so it doesn't dry out. And I think I want this to still go across the paper. So 8.8 is about there. I'm going to remove that bit, and then this one here we're going to cut it at 14.4. So that's going to sit something like that. Okay, so let's adhere that down. Start by putting this piece down. Now, of course, you can use your seal if you've got your seal. Now, if you are thinking about joining me at the stamp camp, we've been coming up with all the girls have been coming up with some great ideas. Now, all the pricing and everything is in Australian dollars, and all our times and everything is Australian time. But we will have a conversion for the Australian times to marry up if you're in another country. You're meeting a couple on Saturday. If you look at a UK map, to the right is the bump, and I'm kind of in the middle-ish of that. Okay, I'll have to have a look. Unfortunately, I've never been over to England. My parents have been over. My younger sister went over just recently. My nephew lives up in Gloucester at the moment. Okay, so that's our card and our card base so far. I love mounting colours like this on black because it really makes everything really, really pop. And I love it when colours pop. I sometimes look at some of these colours and I go, oh, they're not as bright as what I think. But then when you put black next to it, wow, does it really give it a different look altogether. Okay, so let's just have a look at some of these balloons. So normally too, if you're going to stamp on this, I'd stamp on it before I glue it down, but we've done it the other way around, but that's okay. Another colour I thought we might do is, this is Wild Wheat, one of the new in colours, and I'm loving it because it's got a really nice gold, the green gold tonings to it. And if you don't like, I don't use a lot of metallics and things, so I don't use a lot of the shiny golds. So if you don't like your shiny golds, really good for like a gold tones. And I've been doing my tassels in this because you've got this great little die that you can do tassels with. So what we might do is we might die cut some of those now so we can get a bit of an idea of what we're going to be looking at. So probably need, I've cut out a lot of balloons, but we don't need to put tassels on all of them, and we don't need to use all of that I've cut out. So let's just cut about 4 or maybe 5 of these and see where we can use them. And you will need your take a pick tool, which mine is here somewhere. There we go. Pop this out and then I can show you the tassel I'm talking about. So look at that. I love all the detail that's in that. So let's just cut a few more of those out. So how's everybody been going anyway this last week? I hope you've all been keeping well, and I have been quite busy, so I've been keeping well and I've been keeping out of trouble. But I so look forward to, whoops. Oh, I think I just caught it. It fell. The die fell. And if it gets onto the floor, well, then that's into the land of never, never. I'll never, never find it. Though I have bought, I'll show you my tool. This is my special tool. It's got a light at this end, but it's also it's extendable, and it's got a magnet. So when I drop things on the floor, it's been really handy for picking them up, because I can't get down there and I cannot get under my desk. And if my husband's not here, it's like, oh no, what do I do? Oh, you've got a brother living here in Australia. And what part of Australia is he? It was a small town called Harvey, about an hour from Perth. Oh, okay, in Western Australia. I've never been over there because, I mean, Western Australia is a long way from us. It's it's the other side of the country. and it'd take, whoops, I've got a little balloon sitting inside there. It'd take quite a few days, probably about I don't know, 3 to 4 days to drive across, I suppose. A few hours, or at least 2 hours on the plane, I think. My son lived over in Western Australia there for a while. He was in the Navy. And you're trying to keep away from the fires and smoke that is surrounding. What? Oh, yeah, because you're in Canada. I was reading that because we have some of our local RFS guys go over to Canada to help out with the fires. Oh, gee, I hope they don't get too close. I know what it's like because here where I live in the Southern Highlands here in Australia, we tend to get a lot of fires because I live in a rural area, but it's a rural area that's surrounded by bush. So we tend to get a lot of bushfires here in our summer. So I can really feel for you there. It's been probably our last bushfire was about 2 years ago. And that was a big one. That was huge. But yeah, I'm in the highlands, so I can really feel for you. I hope it doesn't come too close to where you actually live, and all your family and friends are keeping safe. But I do know that some of our local fireys have been asked to go over. I have got one particular friend who goes over nearly every one of your summers to help out in the fires. He goes up in the plains, so I'm sure he'll be preparing to head over if that's the case. Okay, so I've got a few of those tassels done. We've got a few. So I've done balloons in now let's see if I can get all the names right. Lemon Lolly, that's Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, that's one of the returning colours, which is Pretty Peacock. I've done Lemon Lime Twist, and I do have the big one somewhere. And there is the Bubble Bath, and the little one for the Bubble Bath, a little one for the Berry Burst, but the little one for that. There's the little one for that. So that's what I've cut so far. So they're the dies that I'm using. So I'm going to pop those dies there away because we don't want to lose them in the land of Never Never. And there's our tassel. Now, the other thing I do want to do with these is give them a little bit of texture because they are fairly flat and flat looking. So I've pulled out the ink pads and I'm going to grab this little stamp just here. I don't know whether you can see it. It's like you've got this big balloon here, which is just all confetti. And then you've got this little piece here, which is just a little piece of confetti. So I'm going to grab that one, which is this one here. You got two ones that got confetti. One's got like streamers in it, which is this one here. But the one I'm using is this little one here, which has got like little star shapes and little specks all over it. So I'm just going to use one of the little blocks. And then might do the pinks last. Now, I don't know whether I'm going to use the little balloons, but we'll do them just in case anyway. We'll need the chamois to clean. You thank them so much. Fires all around us. Some are very close so far, not having to evacuate. Oh, I hope you don't have to evacuate. that was always, I used to live in a little town. I live in a town called Mossvale, and where I live, it's called the Southern Highlands. We're about an hour thereabouts. Where I am now is about an hour and a half out of Sydney. Where I used to live in Mittagong is an hour out of Sydney. Um, we're in the same area, so Mittagong is just really close to Mossvale, but Mossvale is more rural. So living here, we sort of don't really have the bush. We're more farmlands. But when I was living in Mittagong, Mittagong's got two huge mountain ranges. Well, it's on a mountain range, but you've got two huge mountains either side. You've got Mount Gibraltar and Mount Alexander. And haven't seen a fire on Mount Gibraltar, but Alexander, I've seen that. I used to sit on the front patio of my house in Mittagong when we lived there and watch the fire come up the top. Yeah, it's not a very nice feeling, and it's not very nice having all that smoke and everything around. And my husband used to work in Sydney, so I know what it's like to sit there and sort of be there on your own with little children and worry about what's going to happen. So I can, as I said, I can really feel for you. So please, please stay safe and take care and get out if you need to get out. Don't wait or hang around. It's not worth it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp some of these just down one side. So I'm just taking it down one side of the balloon. You can put them together a little bit closer than what I've done, but you just want to sort of have using it like a little bit like a bit of shading, just to give it a bit of interest. You don't need to cover the whole balloon. If you wanted to cover the whole balloon, you could use that other stamp, which is a bigger one, and just stamp the whole image. But I'm just stamping down one side, and then we're going to put some ink on it as well. So I'm going to grab this one. Now I should have a large lemon lime twist. We can cut some more. I've lost my large lemon lime twist balloon, so we might have to cut another one like that one. And at the moment, I'm just doing these big balloons because I'm not quite sure whether I'll even use the little ones. But again, I'm just going to stamp around. Now, this one here, because it's such a light colour, you could even stamp using the Daffodil Delight. But even just multiple, I'm just stamping this now just a few times, just around those edges, because I was actually going to use some ink and ink that up, but that actually looks not too bad. I don't know whether you can see what I've done there, but I've just stamped a few more extra times around it. I might just do that with the blue one as well, and then you might be able to see it a little bit better. So let's just clean off that. So I'm just going to ink this one up again. Just a bit more multiple stamping around that edging. Whoops, got a little bit carried away there. Yeah, got a bit. I've got a bit of a blob there now. We might have to work out what we can do with that one. So let's just clean that down. I forget sometimes with these newer stamps how juicy they actually are. But because we're stamping same colour on same colour, it will dry and dry a little bit lighter. So let's grab this one here. I do want to keep my colours fairly bright. Okay, I'm just going to go around there a few times and then just come back in, just adding a bit more around those edges, but just trying to stay really on those edges. So there's that one. A bit squeaky cleaning all of these. That is so neat. You think so? Thank you. Okay, so this is the bubble bath, which is also one of the new colours. So again, I'm just going around just those edges there. Just okay, so that's that one. And will we do the pretty peacock, or is it just heading too much into those darker greens? Let's do it just anyway. Let me grab that ink. Move all those little balloons. I'm not quite sure whether that lemon lime twist, whether I'm going to cut another green one or not, because our background is in that colour. Put a little bit more just there. Okay, so let's just have a look and see if we need, if I need to cut that green one. I've still got, these are still colours that are in that sweep, but I haven't actually cut out. I haven't even looked whether that green one went on the green balloon went on the floor. Could have done yet. But anyway, our background is in that that colour, and I really just want these just to pop. And they are big balloons, so we may not need that many on there. Don't want them all the same. So we could do something like that. Question is, do we put in what colours and how many balloons? Odd numbers are always best. Do I go 3 or do I go 5? I think I like 3 rather than 5. Okay, I'm going to take that one out for the moment. And it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So I've got one pink. Now we could have all of those going towards each other. We've got our tassels here. We could double, have them all going singular. Always cut out a few more to get some more paper bit. Or we can pop I always not quite sure when it comes to balloons what I'm going to be doing. I think before we glue anything down, I need to work out sentiment. So I've got a bit of a basic white here. We can use the celebration one. So then this card can be used for not just birthdays, it could be used for any sort of celebration. And I might use the berry burst for that. Just leave that on there for a couple of seconds and let that ink go in. Hi, Glenda. You like 3 as well? Yes, so do I. And I'm going to grab my mini trimmer here. Just trying to maybe trim a little bit more off of that, but this is where I use a post-it note. I've cut it a little bit narrow so I can't move it in here. This is really good if you're doing cutting things and you've only got a little bit of paper, either with a punch or with something like this. By putting a post-it note, you give yourself a little bit of a handle to work with. So I just want to make that a little bit narrower. But I want to do it a little bit at a time so I end up with something that's fairly even. And I'm happy with that. So it just acts like a handle. So if we're going to pop, let's take all of that off. And want to trim a bit off this. And I'm wondering whether I might flag the end of this. So I'm just going to grab a pencil. And do that. Now my flag punch is up the top a bit. I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter. I'm going to cut it back down to 8.5. And then what I'm going to do is just work out roughly center there. Cut that. So all I've done is I've just marked a pencil mark just where I thought that point was going to be, which is roughly halfway. And I've just used a pencil because then I can just grab a rubber here and just remove that a little bit. So that's going to go across there like that. So they're the balloons I've decided. We don't want to have, we want to hide that. Okay. Everything seems to be this side at the moment, so I don't want to, I want to keep it fairly balanced. So I like to sort of have things evenly balanced. So this is given a lot of weight down one side. If I pop that there, there's a lot of weight, more weight on there. I need to have that weight coming out this way. So may not be able to hide that unless I come that down to there. And I like to have my sentiments not too close to the bottom. I like to work in thirds. So if you go too close to the bottom, things tend to look like they're falling off. Now I'm just going to use my pencil here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a mark there. And I'm going to pop a mark there just on those two. And we've got this piece here, which looks a little bit like a balloon tail. And I'm thinking might pop that onto there. It's either going to look good or not good. And we might use black memento for that. My son has a birthday next week, so this just may be a card for him. So I'm looking for that pencil mark, and I'm just going to one there. One there. Now let's just have a look at these balloons. So we're going to have one going to there, that one going to there. You know what? Since he's a boy, we could take that one out, pop that one in, because it's got all your colours in it. So it really doesn't matter. Because that'll actually balance it and do that. And that balloon can sit away from that lot a little bit. So let's just pop another pencil mark just about there. We might have to do another one of these. It's in the pink. Does it matter being in the pink for a boy? Probably not. I don't think he'd worry. Okay. Let's pop another one of these. I'll take it down a little bit. About there. Okay. So that balloon, we're going to go there. We can also put a tassel on there like that. So I'm going to add a bit of glue to that. Let's start gluing. I can sit here and procrastinate all day, and it's not going to get me anywhere. Somewhere along the line, we do have to stick these things down. So that one's going to go there. Now that one I'm going to glue as well. Now this one I'm going to sit up a little bit, but I'm thinking I might also pop him onto some dimensionals. Let's just see if I've got a pack of dimensionals here that I've already started. Lots of mini ones. Let's use some outer edge of those. Never waste your bits on the sides. You can always use them to fill in some of these. Excuse me. And I'm just going to sit that up just a little bit. And just going over where that tassel is. So that can go there. These then can go there, across there like that. We could even add some little, some of the small balloons if we wanted to. Nah, I don't think so. I think we just pop this on dimensionals as well and then see how it all is looking. Now I'm just putting a little bit of dimensional in that corner because that's going to sit. Whoops, wrong corner. It's just sort of going to sit on the balloon a little bit. We have put those gold. Do we need these? Okay, tell me yes or no. We can stick a few of these coming out underneath there. That one there can go on top of there. I think so. I think that'd look quite pretty on there. Or I could probably slip that actually underneath that balloon a little bit. Need to be that much of an angle. I think that needs to go up in there a little bit higher. That's probably better. No, don't think so. Okay. Do we need anything else on here? Let's have a look. They're probably wrong colour. I don't want to add too much bling because it is for a boy. Not really my ideas on that. Let's have a look. What else can we put in here? We could add do we need to add anything else? Can we just leave it as is? Let me know. I need some help. While I am thinking on that, what I might do is grab a piece of basic white and do I have any scraps here of anything? Trying to work out with these dies there was also some stars. Now I dropped this on the ground a little while ago. Have I got any stars? I cut a whole stack out of vellum at one stage. Don't know whether I've got any left. Got one. One little vellum star. And I don't want to get up and get some more vellum. Being lazy. Okay. I'm going to grab the ink pads, those ones, in the 3 colours I've used. You think it looks good as it is? Leave it as is. Okay, I'm going to go with what you guys say. I'm just going to add some of this on the inside. Starting to look a bit look, I think. You know what? I'm going to leave that idea because I don't like what I'm doing there. But I am going to go back to original idea. There's two sides of cardstock. Flip it over. Let's use the other side. It's all good to decorate, but sometimes less is more. And I'm going to cut that to that. Cut that back to 14.4. So it's just a little 1 centimetre strip. And I've got that going the opposite direction to I had on the original, but that's okay. And that can go. And because it is for his birthday, I might just pop a happy birthday on the inside. It's going to go that way. Now, I'm going to do it in blue. My son is colorblind. So I want to do it in a color he can actually see. I'm going to stick happy birthday there. And there we go. I think that's turned out quite well. And I love how I've got that little bit of extra texture there on the sides. It's not just a flat sort of frill, by just, getting that and giving it some depth. But as I said, it probably will get flattened in the mail, but I'm sure he will like that. So thank you for joining me today. Hopefully next week we can get back to that photo album. I'm still trying to play with it and work out what color combinations I'm using in it. But hopefully that will be sorted soon. I may have to go and get some photos printed. So you love it. You're sure he'll love it too. I know he'll love it. He loves anything I give him. He's a good kid. He's my baby. He turns, what is he, 23. But yeah, he's my youngest of 4 beautiful boys. So they're starting to make me feel old. But anyway, they're a real blessing to have. They really are. And we've got a card now made for him. So he'll be pleased with that. And I'll get that into the mail. But anyway, so that's the Bright and Beautiful suite. Now think about joining me in the stamp camp I'll be running with 3 other girls. We're all from Australia. There's Maswari. If anyone follows Maswari, she'll be there. There'll be Kylie Swain and Tracy. Oh, sorry, I can't think of Tracy's surname. But we're all also part of the Creativity Abounds group. But we're the 4 Australian girls. Oh, your youngest is 47. I bet he makes you feel young, Glenda. Oh, dear. These kids all grow up. You have them and they're yours for such a little while, and then you have to let them go and live lives on their own. But it's still all a big worry. Keep telling them they're still my baby, no matter what size. Not really. Doesn't make you feel young. But anyway, let me just pop up this reminder of the stamp camp. So that's the date of the stamp camp. It's the 10th of June. It's an all-day event. It's in a private Facebook group, which you can access forever. So we'll leave it up there. The videos will be all up there. You've got 4 different options for purchasing product to attend the group. You can purchase the whole suite, but you also need to include in that the shaker circles and the gold and silver ribbon combo from the exclusives. If you have already got all that, then you can either just purchase your card kit, which is all the card stock. Doesn't include the designer series paper. It's only the card stock. You got option 3 where you can have a product share, but 2, remember with the option 3 of the product share, you still need to purchase your stamps and your dies if you don't have them. But if you've got all the card stock, and there's no reason to, if you want to swap out one of the colors that we've used, there's another color that you have and you think goes quite well with it, you can, it's up to you to swap that out. But option 4 is a really good one. If you're already a demonstrator or you've already purchased that suite, or you don't really want to purchase the suite through me, you'd rather purchase it through your own demonstrator, you can still purchase that PDF, which will still give you access to the day at the stamp camp. So you can still join us. It's just that you have to pre-cut all your own stuff and have it ready. I can prepare a list for you so you have what you need to cut in your cardstock and so you've got it all ready if you want to craft along with us. Otherwise, you can craft along after the event or whenever you want to, because you do have a lifetime access to all those videos. So there's 4 of us that be running it, and we'll all be doing 2 cards each. So you'll end up with 8 cards at the end of the day. So think about it. I will post my contact details for my blog, because you'll find all the information there. You'll also find the PayPal links for payments on there as well. Let me know if you want the product share, because I do need to purchase some of those products to have them here and get them back in the mail to you. So the product share one, the card kit one, are things that you need to let me know as soon as possible if you want them, so I can get them ready and get them posted to you. The option 1, you need to purchase that through me. But as I said, if you've already purchased it or you want to purchase it through your own demonstrator or through yourself, then you have got that option 4. And I would love to see some of you come along and join us. It'd be a really fun day. So I hope you can. On May 28th, you'll be celebrating your 54th anniversary. Congratulations. Lovely. Yeah, I must admit, let me just take that down and go back to me so you can see who's talking to you. Whoops. Let me get rid of that. There I am. Yeah, in July, Joe and I, my husband Joe and I, we're celebrating our 60th birthday. So we have decided we're going to have a 200th birthday celebration, because my mother turns 80 she turned 80 actually early this week. And then Joe and I turned 60 each. So 60 and 60 is 120 plus your extra 80, which makes 200. So our family are all getting together again in June. I've got a very, very busy June coming up. And we're all getting together in June up in the Blue Mountains to celebrate. So it's good to celebrate those milestones. They're very special, I think. And it's good to celebrate each other as we come across those milestones, whether it be our birthdays or anniversaries. It's fantastic to know that we've gotten to that point. So anyway, thank you very much for today. I'm glad you liked the card. I'm going to get that in the mail fairly soon because his birthday is only next week to him. And your mum is 99 or nearly 99. Oh, lovely, Glenda. I hope you have a lovely celebration with her. That is fantastic. I'll never forget when my great aunt reached that milestone. It was like she had seen so many changes in her life, sort of through the end of one war to the second war. Yeah. The stories that they could tell. And she lives in New South Wales. Okay. Well, have a lovely week. I will head off. I went shopping this morning and bought all these plastic boxes so I can start going through my laundry and tidying up all my towels and my sheets. And I think my husband will be very happy if I can get that done today. So take care. Have a lovely week. I'll catch you all next week. And just take care and look after yourselves. And please stay away from those bushfires over in Canada. And but I'll see you then. I'll see you later. Bye for now. Bye.